AI expert. उनका एक्सपीरियंस प्रोजेक्ट एंड प्रोग्राम मैनेजमेंट में है एंड वो एक डायनामिक प्रोफेशनल है विद डीप पैशन फॉर आर्टिफिशियल इंटेलिजेंस ई कॉमर्स इंडस्ट्री के लिए. वो लीड करते हैं क्रॉस फंक्शनल टीम्स एंड इनोवेटिव AI ड्रिवन सॉल्यूशंस प्रोवाइड करते हैं ऑनलाइन शॉपिंग एक्सपीरियंस के लिए, जो एफिशिएंसी भी ड्राइव करती है ऑपरेशंस में एंड ग्रोथ अपॉर्चुनिटीज़ भी. उनका एजुकेशन के बारे में वो मास्टर होल्ड करते हैं इन ऑपरेशंस फ्रॉम मुंबई यूनिवर्सिटी एंड एक डिग्री है उनके पास में लेवरेजिंग GenAI टेक्नोलॉजी फॉर प्रोजेक्ट मैनेजर्स. उनका प्रूवन ट्रैक रिकॉर्ड रहा है कॉम्प्लेक्स प्रोजेक्ट को हैंडल करने में राइट फ्रॉम इंसेप्शन टू कंप्लीशन. His expertise encompasses developing and implementing AI technologies to achieve business objective. आपके जो business goals है to enhance customer personalization and optimize operational efficiencies, ये दोनों चीज़ को properly strategic decisions, strategic goals को mind में रखते हुए उन्होंने इस चीज़ को prove किया है. उनकी AI capabilities with e-commerce, leveraging advanced data analytics and machine learning to solve real-world challenges. Let's welcome Mr. Jignesh Bhatt ji.
Right. All right. Good afternoon, everyone. So first of all, big thanks to Mr. Vishal Trivedi for doing this stellar job and inviting me today for sharing some insights on AI, artificial intelligence with such a lovely audience. So I chose this topic because artificial intelligence has been talked about a lot these days, and it's really important to understand where we are and how do we want to adapt, especially in these e-commerce domain. Okay, so these are the high-level topics that I would like to touch upon today. So first we'll talk about what is artificial intelligence as such, and what is generative AI, that's again in vogue these days, and what is the specific difference between artificial intelligence and generative AI. Then we'll take a look at the business outlook of the generative AI as a whole, where does it stand today, and how promising the business is for the next decade. Then we'll talk about specifically of generative AI in e-commerce. We'll look at what key players we have and how's the dynamic landscape that we currently have in this particular domain, and what are the key driving factors that we have. We'll also look at what kind of deployment model that we want to take it up. So again, AI models are very resource intensive. So we need to understand how do we integrate that, where do we host it. So we'll talk about that a little later. And then we'll talk about the industrial use cases. What are the areas where we want to integrate Gen AI so that you can increase your businesses. And then we'll also look at the challenges that comes along with it. While it has certain benefits, there are certain challenges that we can't overlook. And then we'll take the implementation steps. We'll see the call to action, especially for the ones who have not integrated this technology or they are at the very beginner stage. We'll see how do we want to approach this particular technology. Hindi में you want? Full Hindi में आपको या mix? Okay, I'll do mix. चलेगा? No problem. Sure. ठीक है. So the point is, so first let's understand what is artificial intelligence. So artificial intelligence is nothing but a field of computer science, okay, that typically does human tasks that requires human intelligence. ठीक है, कोई ऐसे task जहाँ पे हम human intelligence लेके करते हैं, like for example speech recognition है, या text generation or translation, or speech, video, audio generation. Then we have natural language processing. then decision making, planning, जो these tasks है जो typically human करते हैं, this is where these robots came in. Generative AI is one form of the robots, you can say. We have to see कि उसका implementation कैसा होता है. It is definitely based on some inputs, based on which it gives you certain outputs that is needed for you to drive businesses. So that is typically what is artificial intelligence all about. Now there are two different approaches to artificial intelligence. One is called as a discriminative AI and second is called as a generative AI. So what does discriminative AI do? It identifies the patterns and functions that belongs to each specific class, and based on that it creates output based on the patterns that it would have learned, it would have identified. So in any AI models, there is one thing to understand. The accuracy of the predictiveness of the AI model largely depends on the quality of the data it has been trained on. So the data quality and the data it has been trained on plays a very instrumental role when it comes to AI. Now we have something called as a generative AI. So what is generative AI? Generative AI generates data based on the data it has been trained on. So हमने देखा artificial intelligence makes the predictions, generative AI creates more data based on that data and then it makes predictions. So it goes one step further. So by leveraging the vast amount of knowledge it would have learned from the training on vast amounts of resources, it will generate high quality and contextually relevant data. This is really important, which often resembles human generated data. So if you see, there are a lot of progression we have made in the generative AI these days, and they are able to predict the results based on the inputs, and they create fresh generated content. So market may, if you see, there are a lot of generative AI models that are already present. One of them is the famous one is the OpenAI's ChatGPT. I'm sure everyone has already used that. Then we have Google's Bard. Then we have Midjourney. And all these AI models, what does they do? They generate a human-like text based on the inputs that they receive, and they create some freshly generated content. They write essays, create stories, they give human replies, so on and so forth. So with this, let's first understand now where does machine learning falls into. So what is machine learning? Machine learning is nothing but a subset of AI, or it's an application of AI that trains models based on the data it has been fed on. So while artificial intelligence mimics human behavior, mimics human intelligence, machine learning enables machine to automatically identify patterns and creates data. So broad level, if you look at the difference, artificial intelligence analyzes the data and makes prediction, whereas generative AI goes one step further and it generates the data based on the trained data. Okay, so to put it in a simplified way, artificial intelligence excels at pattern recognition, whereas generative AI excels at pattern creation. Okay, so that's the basic difference. We'll just go one step further and understand what is the business outlook looks like for generative AI. Okay, so if you look at the general trend here, with the influx of so many general purpose models that we have, like ChatGPT, Google's Bard, and there are other generative AI models that are coming in. Again, it's a very crowded space. काफ़ी startups है जो ये space में आना चाहते हैं और जो लोग ने ऑलरेडी किया है. देर आर पीपल हु हैव ऑल्सो इंटीग्रेटेड इट. तो कुछ डोमेन स्पेसिफिक मॉडल्स भी है. सो आई विल ऑल्सो टॉक अबाउट दैट अ लिटिल लेटर. सो ई कॉमर्स डोमेन स्पेसिफिक कुछ मॉडल्स है विच यू कैन प्लग एंड प्ले एंड स्टार्ट वर्किंग ऑन दैट. एंड कुछ मॉडल्स है विच आर वेरी लार्ज, but it's really a challenge to implement that because it has got a variety of business applications. So you might not need all those applications. We'll talk about few business applications in the subsequent slides. That's something you should be focusing on when you start with. So if you see, this particular market is poised to explode at $1.3 trillion in the next 10 years from the $40 billion market that we have today. So this is like growing at a CAGR of around 43%. And the ones that is contributing to this growth, one of them is the infrastructure as a service. So the providers for this infrastructure are going to stand to gain the most. So these are the ones who will actually provide the infrastructure where you will host your generative AI. तो इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर के भी डिफरेंट मॉडल्स होते हैं कि आपको ऑन प्रीमाइस चाहिए, क्लाउड बेस्ड चाहिए या हाइब्रिड चाहिए. ठीक है, अगेन उसके प्रोज एंड कॉन्स रहते हैं. We'll talk that about a little later, but infrastructure is something that would be a little expensive, and the ones who are going to provide that are going to really stand the most. They are the ones who are going to gain in the next 10 years. Followed by digital ads and specialized assistant software. So जैसे कि अभी इन्होंने बात की on the digital ads, the digital marketing जो करते हैं, वो स्पेस में भी आप काफ़ी कुछ जनरेटिव AI यूज़ कर सकते हो. Then we also have AI servers and storage, because again, generative AI is very intensive. So you need a sophisticated GPU and CPU there. And then there are conversational AI devices. We'll talk about each of them on subsequent slides. So now let's look at what business outlook we have for generative AI, specifically for e-commerce domain. So for e-commerce domain, it's going to grow at $2.3 billion in 2033 from $687 million market that we have. This is again growing at a CAGR of 15%. This shows the technological revolution that's going to hit to this e-commerce domain in the form of generative AI. So this is not the technology we should distance ourselves with. There's a lot that's going to come here and something that we should consider implementing it in our businesses. If you look at the current landscape of the business adaptiveness that we have on generative AI, as per one of the surveys, 50% of the e-commerce retailers have already integrated AI in one form or the other, and out of which 84% say that making an integration of AI is one of their topmost business priorities. Again, this is largely led by the COVID effect that happened a few years back. So during COVID-19, the rate of digital adoption has doubled across the globe. Digital innovation, along with the spurred by the COVID-19 effect, has made AI and analytics at the center of business operations. During the COVID-19 effect, 52% of the retailers have their AI accelerated their AI adoption plans. And out of that, 86% have integrated the AI and have considered AI integration of AI as one of their mainstream technologies. Also, there's an interesting survey done by the IBM, and it says that only 14% of the 20,000 customers that were surveyed so far across 26 countries are happy with the kind of online customer experience that they're getting. This substantiates the fact that there is a lot of room to providing a delightful customer experience to them. And this is where generative AI can prove to be a game changer by providing these broad level benefits. When you integrate generative AI in your e-commerce website, obviously this is something that you will integrate for your customer. This is going to directly impact your customers. तो आपके कस्टमर की एंगेजमेंट बढ़ेगी डेफिनेटली दे विल नॉट बी गोइंग टू बाउंस फ्रॉम योर वेबसाइट्स एंड गो टू सम अदर वेबसाइट्स एंड विथ मोर एंगेजमेंट यू विल अगेन ड्राइव योर कन्वर्जन रेट्स. So that's one area we will put in. We'll specifically talk about each of those areas in the subsequent slide. And then even in the back-end operations, there are a lot of areas like shipping and logistics, your warehouse management, where you can integrate Gen AI that will again improve your productivity and reduce your operational costs. Now let's look at the dynamic landscape that we have in the generative AI in the e-commerce domain, and what are the driving factors that interplay with each other to contribute such kind of growth. तो कुछ की प्लेयर्स है जिन्होंने ऑलरेडी जनरेटिव एआई चालू की है. दीज आर ऑल बिग विगीज. सो फॉर एग्जांपल इफ यू टॉक अबाउट Alibaba Group, so Alibaba Group has pioneered in this AI adoption. They are, by leveraging their vast amount of data resources, they are already using AI to personalize shopping experience and bringing in efficiency in the logistics. So then we have Walmart, whose investments in AI is focused both in improving in-store and online shopping experience. So they have, by integrating into their retail solutions, they are using AI in providing tailored product recommendations and also automating the customer service human interactions. And that's why they are improving their efficiency and increasing the customer satisfaction. Then we have Amazon. They are titan in utilizing AI in revolutionizing the shopping experience. So they are also using AI for predictive analytics, personalized shopping experience, and providing efficiency in the logistics. Then we have Shopify and Magneto, who are two major e-commerce providers. They are also the ones who are empowering the large and medium-sized enterprises. So they have integrated AI into their platforms in providing advanced analytic tools and enhanced customization options, thereby helping their merchants to improve their conversion rates. Now let's look at the key driving factors why generative AI plays a major role here. So जब भी generative AI we integrate it in an e-commerce domain, the first thing that we are looking out for here is providing this personalized product recommendations. So as per one of the surveys, 80% of your buyers can become return buyers if businesses are able to provide them the personalized and customized shopping experience. So 7 out of 10 customers are comfortable with the personalized shopping experience as long as the brands use their own data and not the purchased one. So which data we are using is also one of the talking points when we talk about integrating the generative AI. So there are already a lot of customization tools available in the market, like Clerk.io, WebEngage, which you can consider if you want to integrate it. So what does generative AI algorithms do here? To put it in a simplified way, they take a lot of customer data and they analyze that. The customer data like browsing patterns, purchasing history, their wish list, demographic information. Based on all this data, it will populate those product recommendations which customers are more likely to buy, and that truly resonates with their needs and preferences. Then inventory optimization. This is another crucial aspect where generative AI is being used, which can drive a lot of cost savings and efficiency in your businesses. So with the power of AI algorithms, it will help you know that which products are in the higher demand, which one is not, enabling accurate stock orders. And it also help you to have JIT, just in time, in your inventory. So by maintaining a minimum inventory levels, you can significantly reduce your inventory costs as well. Using generative AI, it can elevate the customer experience by deploying sophisticated, intelligent chatbots. So they are able to respond to your users like humans, and they can answer their any questions, right from basic questions to the complex questions, from order statuses to the delivery timelines. And also they are available 24/7. So this instantaneity and the round the clock availability of the Gen AI chatbots has really elevated customer experience, and they have reduced the burden on your human service teams, which has again significantly reduced your operational cost. Now, the thing that we are talking about is the deployment model key. How do we want to deploy it, correct? So generative AI aata hai, then we have some infrastructure where we want to it deployed. So what kind of infrastructure we use? It can be on-premise, cloud, and hybrid. So far, the most preferential thing is the on-premise model. So on-premise model has gained the dominant position in generative AI and e-commerce by capturing more than 46% of the market share. And this portion underscores the heavy reliance on and continued preference on on-premise deployment model among many e-commerce players, especially for the ones who has a stringent data security requirements, and the ones who are operating in the business jurisdiction which has got a strict data security laws. Also, it comes with several advantages. अगर on-premise deployment model है, तो businesses will have a complete control over it. And this is required when you are working with some sensitive information, the customer information, something that you don't want to leak it. So that does help, and it also brings in bespoke customization, which is not so readily available with cloud-based solutions. Also, Auric advantage with on-premise model is it minimizes latency issues, which is again of a paramount importance when it comes to decision making in your dynamic e-commerce environments. If we go by the application analysis, whether it can be implemented in B2B, B2C, or the personal use, so far generative AI holds around 20% market share on all the B2C applications that are being deployed so far. This illustrates the pivotal role that generative AI plays in transforming the customer-facing business applications, thereby enhancing user experience. Also, this goes on to show the technology's ability in providing personalized shopping experience at scale, automating customer service interactions through intelligent chatbots, and also providing personalized product recommendations through sophisticated machine learning algorithms. That is in B2C. Now in B2B, it also helps in automating the complex transactions that you have between businesses, and it also facilitates the smoother transactions between various businesses. Also in the personal use, it's going to elevate the customer experience at an individual level by offering customized products and services. Now let's look at the specific 4 major areas, the industrial use where you can implement the generative AI. So this is where the generative AI has been used the most by many e-commerce players. So it's all about providing personalized shopping experience. Using algorithms of generative AI, it surfaces the product recommendations which customers are more likely to buy, and that truly resonates with their needs and preferences. It also reminds customers when it is the time to refill the order. वो भी एक one of the important aspect है. and that again offers them the shopping experience that's completely tailored to their preferences. Now, this is one more area where generative AI is being used widely. So earlier, what used to happen is, आप कोई भी e-commerce websites या apps देख लो तो वहाँ पे content is always based on a lot of research on SEOs, on SEO techniques, what SEOs we should use it. But now the scenario has been changed, and the approach has been more towards writing engaging and captivating versions of writing. So what does content writers do here? They use generative AI tools like ChatGPT to write product description and other details, which again engages a lot of audience. And we have natural language generation, which actually evaluates this product data, and it further elevates the customer experience. Businesses like Shopify and eBay has already started using generative AI in writing appealing content to their customers. Then we have chatbots and VAs. So as per one of the Gartner's report, by 2027, around half of the businesses would integrate one form of the other AI-assisted human service. It could be AI or it could be even simple chatbots. So when we talk about the chatbots, there are various levels. You might not always want to go ahead and integrate the sophisticated one. You can start with the ones which can just respond to their queries and then redirect to your human customer service representative. But that's something that you should start with. So that is it. So again, as per one of the as one of the experts have cautioned, right, it's really imperative to find the synergy between AI-assisted human service and the humans who are managing it, so that we can give a productive and seamless experience end-to-end online. So this is really important. So there is one virtual assistant in the market, that is Sephora's virtual assistant called as Voice Assist, which is already assisting humans with product recommendations, tutorials, and also provides beauty tips online. Again, dynamic pricing is one another area which allows you to adjust your offers and prices based on real-time user behavior, customer demand, inventory levels, and competitors' pricing. Using the power of AI, you can anticipate optimal discounting opportunities that is needed and dynamically determine the minimum discount that is needed to drive the successful sale. Dynamic pricing is famously these days are being used by the ride-sharing companies. Now, apart from these four major areas, there are other areas where also AI can be used. Customer churn prediction. Generative AI is being used here to identify the customers, understand them well, and identify new trends where your customers are going through. So, so what does it do? It takes all the data from various customer engagement points that happens, that is at a various POS channel, and it provides insights for further optimization as and when more customers come. So using the power of AI, businesses will identify the new trends, and they will see which customers are on the verge of leaving the platform. So what does AI algorithm do here? They pull the data from all the customer churn predictors like cart abandonment, website bounce rate, website abandonment, and based on that, you can share the emails like purchase completion emails, follow-up abandonment cart queries, and even share the loyalty discounts. So with all these, it encourages them to complete their purchasing process fast. Search and discovery. So as per one of the research, it says that around 80% of your customers abandon your carts and go somewhere else if they're not able to find the products that they're looking out for the first time. And this has really costed around $234 billion annually across all the US retailers. So large language models is being used here to revolutionize your product search capabilities. So what does LLMs do here? They process the queries that comes from the humans as a natural language. तो कभी भी हम कुछ भी सर्च करते हैं, वी डोंट नीड टू डू अ कीवर्ड. अगर आप शॉपिंग वेबसाइट में यूजर्स आते हैं और उन्हें कोई पर्टिकुलर प्रोडक्ट चाहिए लेकिन आपको पता नहीं है कि एग्जैक्ट कीवर्ड क्या डालनी चाहिए, तो यू विल नॉट गेट द गुड रिजल्ट्स. And if it's not getting the good results, it's really frustrating for them. The user experience is very jarring. That's where these things come in. They are able to process the natural language that comes from the users, and they convert them into the keywords. So there is something called as the RAG algorithm. Using that, they convert that into the keywords, and they tend to provide a precise and search results. So if I were to give you an example, recently there is Search GPT. which is currently in the prototype phase. So that is being used for that purpose. Then as per one of the IOs that was concluded recently by the Google, they introduced something called as a Google AI Overview. So what does Google AI Overview do? Whenever you query anything in the Google, हम normally कुछ भी करते हैं, we get all the links there. But what Google AI Overview will do is they will provide you a summary, Google AI summary to what you have asked for. Now, how is it getting this summary? It has integrated into their own AI model called as Google Gemini 1.5 Pro. So they have integrated into that. They will process the natural language that you are sharing, and that they will convert it into keywords and try to provide the information that you are looking out for. You don't really have to go and refer the links. And along with that, they will also share you the links where the data has been pulled so that you can go and further search it. So these are the search models that are available in the market. Few of them are open source. We'll talk about a little later that as well, which you can consider integrating into your platforms to revolutionize your product search capabilities. Then generative AI is being used also to detect the frauds and prevention. So they are being used here to detect the anomalies and also monitors your transaction in real time. So they analyze the data, spot the unusual transactions like high value transfer or multiple transactions that would have happened within a short span of time, or it would have done from some unfamiliar locations. So it gathers all the data and shares it with the businesses for further investigation. Inventory management, as I said, is one of the crucial aspects where generative AI is being used to drive efficiency and cost savings for the businesses. Using AI models here, businesses can understand which product is on the higher demand and which ones is not. Based on that, it can enable accurate stock orders and also brings in JIT in your business. Generative AI provides remarkable and accurate results when it comes to category mapping. By analyzing the product description, product titles, product attributes, generative AI does the automatically listing of the categories by ensuring there is an optimal matchmaking between the buyers and sellers. So enhanced category mapping not only boosts the discoverability of the products, but it also amplifies the sellers, definitely by ensuring the user experience is enriched, and it also bolsters your platform's SEO. That's one way where generative AI is being used to ensure that you have right category mapping. So now, while we talk about a lot of benefits that generative AI brings in, definitely it comes with some challenges and something to be cautioned about. So the most important thing is, since generative AI analyzes a lot of customer data to provide the product recommendations and the predictions, so collecting this data raises a lot of risk and concerns around privacy and data privacy and data protection. Again, integrating generative AI is really expensive. You need a high initial investments in maintenance, in infrastructure, and in talent. And again, if it's in the beginning, generative AI might not yield the positive ROI which you are looking at. Since they are relied on chatbots to provide the customer service, they might not be able to provide the level of support and empathy that a human customer representative can give. So if done poorly, it can even cause friction, make some customer dissatisfaction, and it can even impact your brand reputation. Also, integrating generative AI into your existing e-commerce businesses may present challenges, and it can even impede your market growth. So the complexity that are there around these integrations would require sophisticated technical infrastructure and high level of expertise, which might not be readily available with many organizations. And this factor may be particularly daunting to many small e-commerce players, which may lack resources in carrying out these technological upgrades. So now with all this, how to go with? So the first thing is, it's really important for you to understand your needs and business challenges. See what are the areas where you think you can integrate generative AI on. Look at those areas which can directly impact your end customers, which will help you to give that delightful experience that they're looking out for, so that they don't switch websites. Like yesterday, one of the speakers said that these days people don't have a patience. They just come here. If they are not getting the products that they are looking out for, they will move on. So it's really important for us to engage those customers, and that's where generative AI can be used. So look out for those low-hanging areas where you can do it. Also, there are a lot of off-the-shelf models that are available, off-the-shelf and open-source generative AI tools that are available, which you can readily integrate and see the benefits that you are getting. If you're looking out to explore some tailored solutions, multiple AI models, then consider consulting experts, the trainers who have already done that, have some hands-on experience on that, so that you don't reinvent the wheel and repeat the same mistakes that they would have done. So that will ensure you have a faster integration of Gen AI and get the benefits that you are looking out for. Again, invest in training. Again, generative AI is still in the nascent stage. So there is a lot that needs to be grown. So it's really important for you to engage with this technology around partnerships, research, investments, trainings, so that you are abreast of what's going on in this domain. और आगे क्या आ सकता है, क्या करना चाहिए. Again, this is a very crowded space. There are a lot of players that are coming in. So it's really important for you to understand that and structure your team around various workflows. So within your business processes, there could be a lot of workflows where you think generative AI can be put in. So have a specific team around it, because it's something that you would be implementing it for the first time. So you know what could be the potential gaps that will be coming in, which you might have to plug in, and how do we want to implement that. The most important thing, inculcate this culture. There's a lot being said about that AI is going to snatch away your jobs. But that's not true. The same was being told even when IT came in back in 2000. So it's not going to snatch away your jobs, but it's more like they are going to change the nature of the jobs. So AI is the assistant, who is going to assist humans. Based on that assistance, there are other activities that you need to do, and how will it impact, how will it bring in those benefits to your businesses is how you need to think. So you need to upskill yourself. There would be a lot of devs available in the market who would be knowing this. So start hiring them. Again, there is a dearth of skill in the market, but it's really catching up gradually. So you need to have that. You need to onboard them, see how you can plug in your gaps using generative AI, and where you can really use to bring out those benefits for your customers. The most important thing, reflect and review. There are a lot of inaccuracies, biases, and ambiguities that are there around generative AI algorithms these days. So the famous one is there is a Google's generative AI model, that is Gemini 1.5 Pro. So recently, that particular model shared the output saying that you need a glue to stick the two pizza pieces. Now that has really become viral, and that really adversely impacted their brand reputation. Even the CEO Sundar Pichai had to come to the press and really publicly apologize for it. It's something that they would be fixing it. So it might happen to your businesses also when you integrate. And finally, you're not going to get it for the first time. This is a new technological wave that's going to come with the next 10 years. So you can't distance yourself. See how you want to implement that, and be a part of it. Engage yourself as much as possible. That's pretty much from my side. Be open for Q&A. Yeah.
Questions? Yeah.
Yeah, we are a garment manufacturer dealing with corporates, and we have our own brand also, doing the business in all India, pan India workings. Can you give me an example? With the example, how can AI help me, and in which areas and how? And what should we do to implement that things?
So first of all, do you have any online store where you are
Yeah,
selling
we
it?
have.
Okay. So first, I think so one thing that you need to see is what kind of traffic you have in the website, how many number of users are coming on a daily basis. Then you can also analyze using the Google Analytics, wherein you understand that where are the points where they are bouncing off. तो हो सकता है कि product page पे आते चले गए,
But that-
abandonment card आके चले गए,
But that
carts
is
पे.
B2C. We are doing a lot of business with B2B.
So okay, so your businesses are there with the B2B.
Correct.
So we are talking about the businesses who are going to buy the products from your this thing. Yeah, so there also we can apply it, wherein you can see that whether are they really using those websites, the websites that you are having it to buy the products or not. Do they having the right experience that they are looking out for? What is missing? Is it really the kind of product that you're looking out which is not there? If that is the case, then you can improve your, first thing is the thing that you can see is your product merchandise, the way it has been listed. Sometimes what happens is the product they're looking out for is not listed in the category that they are looking out for.
So it means that you should be online. You should have a website.
Yes, yes.
That is the must. Then
Yes.
only you can use the AI.
So see, that is one of the applications, okay, where generative AI can be easily integrated into it. But so it's all about what are your pain points. If it is it really something about inventory that you want to do, or it is on the warehouse management that you want to do? Then there are also various applications that you can use it. I'll tell you. So there are various domain-specific models also that we have. Okay, like the this Hugging Face transformers. Now, this is a classic example of a domain-specific model. This e-commerce specific AI model it has. It has multiple applications. Your like the content generation, then your product search recommendations. All these are there. And this is one of the open source API tools that you have it. So if you feel, so it's all about your pain points. If you feel that these are the points wherein the customers are going off, and which is why you are not able to convert those customers, then you can implement the GI there.
Hi Jignesh, Nishit here, this side.
Hi.
Jignesh, एक्चुअली मेरे लिए क्वेश्चन ये है कि आई एम एन ERP डेवलपर. मैं अगर इसमें ERP के अंदर AI इंटीग्रेट करूँ, देन जो पंकज सर जो अभी क्वेश्चन पूछ रहे थे, प्रॉबली उसका आउटपुट मैं दे सकूँ इन दैट, क्योंकि उनका कंसर्न है B2B में कैसे इट विल बी मोर हेल्पफुल AI. तो ये इनसाइट्स हम लोग जो डेटा कलेक्ट करते हैं उसके ऊपर अगर मैं AI रन कर लूँ तो डेफिनेटली सारे मैन्युफैक्चरर्स को ऐसे ऐसे इनसाइट्स मिलेगी जो अभी आपने डिस्क्राइब कर रखी है. प्रॉबली जैसे जैसे इवॉल्व होते जाएगा we will be able to give more insights going forward. So my question over here is कि इसको integrate करना कितना easy होगा and how it will in terms of the weightage, how it will be heavy on the server.
So first coming to your first question on how easy or difficult it would be integrate. So there are a lot of AI tools that are available in the market. Few of them are off the shelf, which are customized one, which could be costly, and there are few which are open source, like GPT Neo, GPT-J, Raza, this one Hugging Face transformers. So ये सारे domain specific models है जो ये सारी चीज़ें provide करती है. Now, when you install those libraries, they have their own API and tools. Now, what does they do is they extract the application-specific pipelines from the major AI tools that are available. That is PyTorch, TensorFlow. यहाँ पे सारे applications होते हैं. तो advantage here is you don't really need to train that big models. Okay, so that way you can reduce your compute cost, your carbon footprint, and you can save a lot of time and resources. तो ये जो engineering tools है, start integrating that. Now, what do they need? They need their enterprise data. So the kind of data that you have, right? I think you are already feeding the data into your BIs.
Correct.
Correct. So that data you have, along with the dynamic data that you have, like your other customer data, which will make that model more intelligent and give you more efficient output.
Correct.
Start integrating that. They have their APIs. You can integrate that and start giving the output that you are looking out for.
Hello. Yeah, hi. So we have a D2C website on Shopify. We sell shirts and women's wear. So my question was, a lot of customers, returns ka one of the reason is size issues in online business. So any AI tool you could recommend that could help us solve the size issue on real-time basis online?
Yes. So we have some AI tools. So what does it do is, it would not be AI, but it's more like a digital analytics tool sort of thing that we have, wherein it takes the photo of the customers that they have, and the kind of size that they're looking out for, they will impose the image of the t-shirts or the shirts on their customers, and they will actually give them the output of how they would look like. And it's a volume that they create. It's not just the image. So you can rotate the image. You can create actually a 3D volume wherein they themselves can see wearing that t-shirt in there. So that's kind of technology you have. So that you can integrate it. So that way they will be able to better understand how they would look like and can even reduce your return
That
times.
will like recommend the size also, what size to buy. To
Yes, so they can select the sizes that they want, S, M, L, that they will do it. They will also, so again, if it's a return customer, AI will recommend the size to them because he's a repeat customer. He exactly knows what kind of products he's looking out for and what kind of size he will wear. So based on that, it provides that recommendations.
Thank you.
Hello. Hi, Jignesh.
Hi.
Actually, my question is, in case I have a D2C website also, and I am selling on marketplaces also. So in case of marketplaces, in my category, which are the brands and what are the volumes they are making, and in which designs the highest volumes are there, whether it is predictable from AI and whether marketplaces allow it, how it will happen.
So you are selling to who in marketplaces?
Amazon, Flipkart, through Amazon, Flipkart. Yeah.
Okay, so again, in fact, Amazon, Flipkart have their own generative AI models there. So whenever you sell those products there, in the initial when you sell that, they themselves share what kind of functionalities you want to consider. If you consider these functionalities, it comes along with that automatically, and whatever products that you list in Amazon or Myntra or any of the websites, they ensure that this is being taken care of when the users are browsing those websites and looking out for your products. So they already have this generative AI models which they are using for the merchants.
Actually, I am not talking about my products, but the competitor products. So that I'm in case there are some products wherein the highest selling is there, so I can enter in those products. So that was my question.
Yeah, so that's more like a dynamic pricing and competitors pricing that you want to look at. So again, I'm not sure if Amazon or Flipkart can provide that, but you can have your own AI tools who does this market research specific to the SKUs or the products you are looking out for, and then provides the recommendation on that. So there is already a tools available who has this market research and who can provide you this.
But then these marketplaces allow that the data to be shared with the other tool maker or something like this.
Yes. So there is a different topic on the data security on how it works in. Okay. So there are certain agreements that are made on that. Okay. So it's a complete no, first of all, to share one customer's data to another. So that is not there, but there is a way in which you can share. So there are certain data security algorithms who shares the aggregated data. So not the specific data. They won't give you the name, but they give you the generic data or generic trend on how it goes. You can look at that and then take a call.
And second question is, as you said that the cost of implementing the AI is too high. So what you actually might be as a starting cost for implementing or having for some generation of the task which is there. So I wanted
So-
to know a ballpark, not actually, because there will be a lot of things that will be coming into picture to have that cost, but at least initial ballpark figure.
Yeah, so there are three major costs which drives this. So one is the licensing and subscription cost. So if you are taking an open source AI models, it will be free. But if you are looking out for off-shelf customized models, it will have some cost. Then you have a development and integration cost. So you need a developers who are taking these AI models and you want to integrate that. Then third, the major cost is your infrastructure cost, where you want your generative AI models to be hosted in. It's in Google Cloud, Amazon's AWS or Microsoft Azure, or you want on-premise deployment, on-premise model. So these are the three main costs. Then comes your maintenance and support costs. And then finally your education and training costs that you want to give it, impart it to your team. So if you talk about the small retailers who are just starting with it, for them, the first subscription and license cost would be free, assuming that they are integrating the open source free models. Then when it comes to development integration costs, it takes around $50 to $250 per month if you're looking out for freelancers. And if you're looking for development agencies, it takes around $100 to $300 per month. Now, if you look out for the infrastructure cost, it takes again several $10 to several $1,000, depending upon your computational costs, because these are all resource intensive. So when you are putting it in the cloud, how much tokens you are processing, the costs are always based on that. So there's a typical costing of $0.01 per 1,000 tokens that it gets processed, or sometimes they have a monthly cost of around $29. You want to, if you want to do that. And the last thing is the maintenance and costs. That is again AMC sort of. So that annually takes around $500 to $1,000 per month. So on an average, for a small player, it takes around $1,500 approximately on an average. Again, depends on what is your, how much your usage is, what resources you are looking out for, but approximately it takes around $1,500. That is like maybe 7,500 rupees or so for per month.
One thing is in terms of ROI, like we spend $1,500 to $2,000. In how much time you see the results out of it? Like as per your experience with the client you have worked for.
So again, see, it all depends again on the areas that you are integrating it, and what kind of customer inflow that you have. Okay, if this is really a problem wherein out of 100 customers who are visiting your website in a week, there are only 10 who are getting converted and 90 are getting bounced out. That means it's a big problem that you are solving, and that's where if you put AI, your benefit will increase. So it's all about the cost versus benefit call that you have to make. So there's a lot of cost that you invest when you integrate the AI, but again, you have to see what kind of problem you are solving and how much benefits you will get till when. So typically, the small players, if you see, around 8 to 9 months it takes to come up with to come to the gestation period where your cost equals to benefits. Because this is the kind of continuous investment you have to make if you are integrating AI and the benefits that you are getting.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, so hi Jignesh, Sakshi this side. Like you mentioned for the personalized shopping experience for B2C brand, so I just want to know, I just want you to elaborate more into how is it going to actually cater individual e-com customers. So if you can just elaborate more onto it, the function, how is it going to support the personalized shopping experience?
So what do you mean when you say individual e-commerce customers?
Yeah, like how is it going to actually support? What all factors does it cover when you mention personalized shopping experience?
Yeah, so that's where what algorithms do is they are more intelligent. They understand what's your browsing history, what's your purchasing patterns, what kind of t-shirts do you typically use in the past few months, how was your shopping experience, what is the trend. They understand everything, and based on that, whenever you log in into your shopping website, they will exactly show the products that you are going to look out for. They also predict that based on these products that you have bought, these could be the potential products that you would like to buy. So that is where they provide it. Now, how does it come? So there are various areas, like I said, in the search recommendations. If you put it, they exactly understand that this particular user wants these things, so they will only populate those product recommendations there. So that is how it gives you the
So
shopping
that has been
experience.
used already by the Amazon and other marketplace?
Yes. They're already using that. In fact, they are also maturing their model further. So again,
All right, thank you.
yeah.
Hi, Jignesh.
Yeah.
So we touched base the business management aspect of the AI tools, okay? So more or less. Any development in the creative aspects, say for example, for new startups, outdoor photo shoots becomes very expensive, you know. Is there any tool which will take care of the backgrounds? Or so while starting, it becomes very difficult to manage the budget. So I would rather spend on the manufacturing or the fabric costing aspect rather than the photo shoot aspect, which is also necessary while launching your new startup. So actually, personally, even I would not like the artificial background, but at least in the initial stages, if that will help me to manage my budget aspect, it would have been great. So any development where where I can manage outdoor photo shoot with the help of AI tool.
Yeah, so first thing is this particular application. For that, you might not even need an AI. There are a lot of other tools which helps you to do that. Okay, because generative AI is more like prediction and creating a new sort of data. But the one thing that can still be used in this particular application for generative AI is looking at what kind of background that you are looking out for, or what kind of scenery you are looking out for when you want to take a photo click. It can suggest you, and
Okay.
also based on who you are doing it. So you can put a figure, put your photograph, and it will suggest what kind of backgrounds that you want to do it. So there are certain things available, but this is again one of the basic applications for AI. There are other tools you might not even want to invest here in AI. I
Okay.
think in Canva, and there are a lot of other tools that are available which are non-AI, which you can utilize for this.
Acha. So they are prompt based, correct? So whatever prompt I will put, that kind of imagery I will get.
Yes, and your prompt could also be image based. So if you are putting that this particular image,
Okay.
and what kind of photo shoot you want, is it a corporate based, is
Okay.
it a travel based?
Okay.
Based on that, it will come up with the recommendations, and you can select one.
Okay. So my other question was that you talked about the data which we can generate through AI, as in the analytical data, product research data. So my question to you is, how authentic is that data? How much we can trust this data to be able to implement in our business?
So these are all trained data. So when we talk about the AI models, they're
Correct.
already being trained on specific data. Now, when I'm talking about when this domain specific data, so we have a lot of machine learning algorithms that are there, like TensorFlow, PyTorch, right? So these are all already being trained on this data, and they're already providing the outputs.
Okay.
So there is no concern around that. The
Okay.
only thing is when you integrate it, it will be trained around your specific enterprise data. So that will
All
take
right.
some time to train and give you the outputs that you are looking out for.
But it is still evolving. See, I'll tell you my background. So I am an architect by profession. So we have exploited and experimented a lot of these generative AIs. So there are two aspects, as in generative and control net. Sorry, I'm getting too technical, but these are the aspects which we have exploited a lot. So sometimes if I say mid journey, whenever I have prompted some my requirements, so it has given me a very vague output. Okay, so some data, then I have found out that I couldn't trust that, because I don't know वो कहाँ से उसने research करके दिया है, and if I present that to client, I might get into a copyright issue or something.
Correct.
So
Absolutely.
that's the biggest issue we were facing in our practice. But so that shouldn't. So it is relevant in this field as well. So that copyright issue still persists. So yes, the management part, as far as numbers are concerned, it may not create so much of a problem. But the creative aspect, if I say ki I want to generate some ethnic wear design, it shouldn't get into that rebel. So I don't
Correct.
know how much it has been evolved, and how much we can trust this
Correct.
AI
So,
tools.
so you are right that it is still at an evolving stage. But when it comes to this copyright issue, we have certain security algorithms that are available. One of them is called as Skyflow.
Sorry?
Skyflow.
Skyflow.
Skyflow. So what does it do is basically whenever any new data comes in and it feeds into the model training mechanism which generates the output, there is a security layer behind that.
Oh,
What Skyflow does is it filters out all the personal data that is coming from there
great.
and shares the aggregated data to the model training output, model training process. So
Okay.
whatever output comes will not have any personal data
Oh, okay,
that
okay.
way. That's one thing. Secondly, again, businesses will have to ensure that all the data that your AI algorithms that is trained on is as per your data privacy, is as per your data privacy laws.
Correct.
So again, that is one thing that we shouldn't be violating it. But these are the ways in which you can reduce it.
Great. Thanks. Thanks a lot.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Hi, how can AI help in a fabric company, considering that we don't have a lot of online presence? Because the industry is such, it's not mature to a point where we get sales online.
So you have a complete offline setup in that case.
That's correct.
So you can utilize AI in your inventory even in your shipping and logistics, wherein it will also let you know that which products are at the higher demand, which one is not. So you can do your demand forecasting based on that output. So the final forecasting you can do it, but AI will really assist you in helping you doing that based on the real-time customer demand and the inventory levels that you have currently. Based on that, that will help you. So inventory is one thing, shipping, logistics you can do one thing, warehouse management can even help. That's also one of the areas where you can integrate AI. So these are the ways you can do it.
Thank you.
हेलो सर, मेरा सवाल ये है कि हम लोग ऑनलाइन कपड़ा बेच रहे हैं, पर अभी कस्टमर बहुत आलसी हो गया है, उसको साइज चार्ट डालने में आलस आ रहा है। तो क्या ऐसा कोई एआई टूल्स है कि मैं किड्स वेयर में हूँ तो एक कैमरा निकले और फिर बच्चे को फ़ोटो खींच ले, फिर उसका मेज़रमेंट अपने आप आ जाए, फिर वो जो गारमेंट पे सिलेक्ट करे अपने आप पहन ले, तो रिटर्न का झंझट ही ख़त्म हो जाएगा। या बच्चा स्कूल गया है तो उसका पुराना गारमेंट हैंगर में लटका दे और उसका मेजरमेंट वो कैच कर ले, ऐसा कोई टेक्नोलॉजी है क्या?
हाँ, कर सकते हैं। सो वहाँ पे भी आप जब भी कोई भी प्रोडक्ट सिलेक्ट करोगे, वहाँ पे देयर इज़ एन ऑप्शन की सिलेक्ट द साइज़ करके। तो वहाँ पे भी एआई क्या करता है, वो एआई वही है, कैमरा ओपन होता है, इट टेक्स योर फोटोग्राफ, इट सेव्स इट इन देयर एआई एल्गोरिदम। वो लोग का जो मॉडल होता है वहीं पे वो डेटा सारे सेव हो जाते रहे, और उसके बेसिस पे वो लोग रेकमेंड करेंगे आपको कि आपको कौन सा साइज़ चाहिए, आपको कौन सा साइज़ लेना चाहिए। अभी वो ये लेवल तक का भी इंटेलिजेंट है बॉट्स के साइजेस आपके ब्रांड्स के हिसाब से चेंज होंगे। आज ये पर्टिकुलर ब्रांड का लूँगा तो मे बी आज एम है साइज़, कल वो ब्रांड का मे बी एल लेना चाहिए मुझे। तो बेस्ड ऑन द साइज एंड द फिगर ऑफ द इंडिविजुअल, इट टेल्स दैट ये पर्टिकुलर ब्रांड का ये साइज़ आपको करना चाहिए, वो रेकमेंड करते हैं।
हाँ, मतलब सिस्टम में हमने हमारा साइज तो लिखा हुआ है, एआई कस्टमर को सजेस्ट करना चाहिए कि ये ब्रांड का आपको
करेक्ट
मेजरमेंट के हिसाब से ये साइज लेना चाहिए।
यस यस।
थैंक यू।
Thank you so much, Jignesh ji, for answering all of our audience's questions. A huge round of applause for him, please.
Thank you.
So one photograph with Jignesh.
Thank you.
Thank you for accepting our invitation and sharing your insights about AI, Gen AI technology, how it can benefit our apparel industry. Thank you. Thank you, Mansi.